Are you there?
Hello.
There, Alex?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got Tim and Alex today, looks like.
It seems it.
The new guys. Yeah, pretty much everybody else, except for Zig, said that they weren't going to make it today, but maybe Zig just slept in. Sure.
You never know.
Close these other windows. So how are you guys doing today?
Oh, I'm doing okay.
Gradually waking up.
How are you doing?
Oh, pretty good. I got to hang out with a bunch of friends last night. I had a little bit of a social life for once. It was kind of nice. Nice break from my hermitage here in Pennsylvania. Hang out with my son. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Let's see here. I don't know how to really. It's kind of tough sometimes when players are in and out trying to figure out what you're gonna do with them, and
yeah.
I'm not very good about role playing NPC characters, and I always kind of feel a little strange, like I'm gonna do something that the player wouldn't want me to do. So
yeah, it's a tough position to be in.
Well, maybe Rayhan ran Romelsy back to town because he got stabbed in the stomach by the wasp, and he's bleeding horribly, and he's poisoned.
Huh. Well, he actually made his save.
Oh, okay.
If he would have failed, that probably would have worked out. Let's see here.
Well, maybe the fail was he died.
Sorry, Jeremiah, your character died when you weren't here last time.
Yeah.
But for Alex, for your character Tavis, I kind of said, I sort of plopped you in there. I just said that the shadow followed these guys, and the shadow was meant to be you, your character.
Okay.
Basically, that you've been sort of stalking them since they left the town, not really joining in or just kind of watching them from a distance. What do you think would be the reasoning for that? Do you have any? Why do you think Tavis maybe would have done that, or just to try to get you in here?
I'm trying to figure that out. Well, we haven't really decided what was going on with his hands. So
that's right.
Perhaps there was something a little bit off-putting that he was trying to cover up.
And maybe you thought that was like some bad omen or something that you didn't want to, I don't know, bring your curse upon the others, or maybe you thought you were sick.
Yeah. I mean, no one really wants a friend who's dealing with some sort of ghostly demon plague.
So we're gonna say that you've been following these guys, and maybe you finally you've got over that, or you're looking for help, or you're just tired of being alone in this very strange world. And you finally they traveled to this hill, and you'd follow them behind, and you'd watch them hang out with this guy in this house, and then they burned the house down. You watch the flames from the distance. You just been keeping pace with them up to this point. And you're probably at the base of the hill when you see them go up top, and maybe you climbed up there. So why don't we they basically were just heading down into this cavern at the last time we met. So just to sort of I don't know, fudge things or whatever, because there's only two of you guys here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say that a swarm of giant wasps come out and grab Rayhan and Romalzi and head into the caverns and caves below. And then, we'll just start there. So feel free to describe yourself coming up to the cave, Alex, and bumping into Sergey.
I think that at this point, Tavis is likely to just kind of make a bit of a dash up if he can recognize that it's Rayhan and Romalzi that have been pulled into this dank little abyss.
Yeah, I think you probably would have noticed that from
okay.
The base.
So he'll just sort of stumble his way over, and I suppose What the hell was that?
Well, Sergey he's rather startled, apparently, obviously by all these wasps that fly. He's, who are you? What are you doing here? Are you master of the wasp?
No, certainly not. No association with insects buzzing out of strange holes. I just... Ramalzi and Rayhan, they're old friends. Wait a second, I recognize you. Sergey?
Oh, do we know each other?
Well, that's kind of the backdrop for the whole campaign.
Okay.
Everybody pretty much had spent a lot of time together in other adventures, and feel free to, scatter those through your role-playing, basically.
Okay.
You make shit up as you go, basically.
Oh, yes, I remember you. It was from that town and that place where we did the thing.
Admittedly, it wasn't a particularly remarkable jaunt you had with me, but, It
was with the horses, and the man
that
had
mention the horses.
The thing. I remember
more
it very
immediately,
well.
what the hell was up with the wasps?
They come up here first. They stab Rommelzy in the stomach with the poison stinger. Then a bunch of them come up here. Then they swoop down and pull them all away. If I not have shield and sword, they would have taken me too. Or I might just be the lucky one.
That's a perfectly acceptable explanation. Do you know anything about this cave?
There's wasps in there.
So that's what we have to go on.
I'm not from here. I do not know what else is in here.
Okay, I know. What do you know about the area? Are these a usual problem, or?
We were coming along a road coming up here, and there was a strange man who was being attacked by invisible bugs. We killed invisible bugs with fire. We came to his house. We burned his house down. We came here. Oh, we burned his house down because he was eating family, but that's beside the point.
Well, they could have had a wasp nest in there. You never know. More to the point, though. Do you think we ought to go after them?
I believe we probably should. I don't want to go into cave with giant wasps, but
no.
we cannot leave them in there. That would not be very sporting-like.
I suppose not. It doesn't seem like the most profitable choice, though.
Maybe we can smoke out wasp.
How do we keep the smoke in the cave, though? And what if we smoke them, to death?
Very well. We must go in after them then.
I like your idea. It's just...
If we got big enough fire, it might just scare wasp. They're wasp, after all. We blow smoke down into cave, and smoke scares the wasps, then they all come out.
There might be another end that they could go
That's not a good idea, then.
Tavis,
maybe we should just go down.
There's something that you notice, too. There just seems like there's just lots of insects in the area, lots of gnats and mosquitoes, small varieties of bees and wasps and beetles crawling through the ground. It just it seems like just a plethora of insects everywhere you look on top of this hill. they're biting you, and maybe every once in a while a gnat gets in your mouth.
Are there a plethora of insects once one is within the mouth of the cave? Or does it sort of...
Are you walking into the cave?
I suppose we'll take a few steps in anyway, just to look.
There seems like there's as many in here as there are out on the hillside. And there's a staircase that leads down from the entrance of the cave.
A staircase, so it's obviously man-made.
It seems to have been worked, like a natural cave had been converted.
This is very strange.
There was footprints coming in and out, right?
Yeah, there are boot prints in and out, and also there's small circular marks in the gravel and the stone, and the soil that's there on the ground.
I think Tavis is going to bend down and see if he can recognize what they might have been caused by.
Well, I mean, let's see here. You can roll. How about you just give me a D20 roll under intelligence, both of you? I guess that would be good.
Okay.
I'm going to try to do.
Nope.
I have a D20 here somewhere.
Where did 20 go? My 20. I rolled a 15. Nope.
Okay. You guys have no idea. Also, the stairway down is covered in about 6 inches of topsoil on top of what looks like stairs underneath them. But it actually shows you the prints better because they're just in the topsoil.
Okay. That's helpful. Perhaps we should light a torch and head on in. Sergey, you have any torches in your pack?
I have a lamp.
Doesn't make much smoke, does it?
No. Well, if you set things on fire, it will.
Fair enough.
There's branches around, we can carry things. But the lamp is good enough for seeing.
It looks like we may be able to get a better idea of what's making these markings further down on that soil. If you could help me light some of these twigs and lead the way with your lamp, I'll, just stick to the back with some lit sticks.
With lipstick?
Lit sticks. I
Wait,
don't have any lipstick. You do notice, though, that he has these white silk gloves that were probably ladies on his hand.
Very lovely. Well, he reaches into his backpack and he starts rummaging around, and he pulls out his lantern after a while, and he pulls out a little flask of oil. He unscrews the lid of his lamp, and he starts slowly pouring in the oil. Then he carefully puts it on the ground. He takes out his tinderbox and starts striking on it until he finally gets a fire, and he lights the lamp up and closes it up. Hands it to you.
Oh, he hands Tavis the lamp.
Yeah.
All right. Reluctantly, Tavis takes the lead.
Well, you carry a lamp. I carry shield and sword.
This makes good sense. I'm not sure what use a shield or sword will be against these wasps, though.
Well, we killed other one with pointy things.
This is good.
Does Tavis pull out a weapon or anything? Or
no, he's busy with the lamp.
Okay.
He's got a crossbow sewing across his back, but he's just going to be focused on the prince and trust that Sergey will have his back.
Okay. So
You can have a crossbow in one hand and a lamp in the other.
You always put the lamp down, I guess.
Yeah, I think he'll probably set the lamp down at a sign of trouble. But for now. All
right, so Sergey, how do you go down the stairs? You you going quietly? Are you just at a walking pace?
Well, he carefully pulls his shield out in front of him and has his sword ready in his other hand, and he just carefully, foot over foot, just watching his step as he's going down, just make sure he doesn't trip over anything.
Yeah, your feet kind of sink into that topsoil. It's very like I don't know, fluffy is the right word, but your feet sink in probably about 3 inches every step that you take. It's nice and quiet and soft as you head down.
He just proceeds down, looking at the topsoil, see if there's anything like underneath of it that might be sticking out, that might be something he doesn't want to step on.
All right, why don't you? Let's see here. I should have got a character sheet out in front of me. I always forget to do that. If you said you're looking, right? So why don't you roll me a searching check? It's a D6. I think that's what it means.
What do I need? Oh, it's a D6. I rolled a 3, and my searching is 1.
All right, you don't see anything as you're traveling downwards. Does Tavis want to do anything? You're carrying the lamp. You want to watch where you're stepping? You want to look around?
Well, yeah, he'll definitely watch where he's stepping, especially since that's where the circular prints he's trying to figure out are.
Okay, well, you can do the same thing. Why don't you give me a searching roll? D6.
Okay. No, that was a 6.
All right. So you guys head down. You don't trip on anything. Nothing comes out of the wall and tries to kill you or anything like that.
Reassuring.
So you stride forward, and eventually the stairs give way to some level, rough-hewn caves. But like I said before, it seems like it's mostly natural, but it has been expanded in places and widened. And eventually you come out into a very large, domed, natural cave. There's various brilliant colored minerals and bright white and yellows and oranges in strange configurations, veins in the rock. You let the light of the torch, or the light of the lantern kind of walk out and look in front of you, see what's going on there, and there's lots of directions that you could go. On the west side of this cavern, it seems to be probably about 100 feet wide and 100 feet in front of you. There is this very pale mold that is growing all over the side of the cave over there.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to have kind of like a misty white stuff floating in the air, like dust. It's moving around in places, but it's pretty far away. And as you look, there's a lot of different directions you can go here. As you look around the cave, there's 9 different ways to go. You are coming out of the 10th.
Well, Sergei, he puts his sword away for just a second. He says, "Keep eye out for wasps." And he carefully reaches into his backpack until he finds a little piece of chalk, and he marks an X on the pathway that he came in through.
Okay.
Tavis is going to kind of lower the lamp a bit, holding it, I guess, by his knee, and just listen forward to see if he can hear any sounds from any of the directions.
Okay. You guys can both roll under wisdom, I guess, with D20.
Okay.
Rolled a 3.
Nice.
I'm great at rolling high in this game. 20.
Great.
Don't use up all your 20s now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do come in handy sometimes. So as you guys are listening, it does seem like there are some echoing sounds of movement, perhaps coming from different directions, and they're echoing and bouncing all over the place. It sounds like maybe there's water dripping in places. But to your left, the first cave that is there seems to be some sort of noise. It sounds like
Sergei puts the chalk away and carefully pulls his sword back out again.
Did the wasps sound like that, Sergei?
I was not listening to their calls very closely. I do not know. But anyway, I will go in. Whatever it is, we don't want it to come up from behind us.
I suppose that's true. We can't be certain whether any of these halls or corridors interconnect.
So Sergei, he puts his shield in front of him, and he has his short sword to the side. Hold light so I can see. And he starts creeping down in front, down that passageway that he hears that sound from.
Okay. As you're creeping along, the light of the lantern shows there's more of that pale fungus and moss, whatever it is, on the walls, and probably about 6 inches away from the walls. It seems like it's perhaps spores or dust or something that you don't really think you want to inhale. But it's not too hard to stay in the center of the corridor.
Yeah, he stays away from it, and he keeps his mouth down so he's not going to be running right through it. So he breathes, takes care of his breathing, so he's not going to be inhaling this stuff.
As you're moving forward, the light gets a glint of something. Something seems dark and shiny and black. You see small angular textures in this thing. It seems like it's moving, but you'd have to move a little bit closer to see what it is exactly. It's like right at the edge of vision at this point. It seems like it's probably about 3 foot long. It's low to the ground, and the sound seems to be emanating from the part of it that you can't see with the lantern light.
Is that where the sound is coming from?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, but it definitely doesn't look like a wasp.
No, it looks very different. In fact, maybe you get the idea of some sort of carapace or shell, something like that.
Are you certain this is worth following, Sergei?
Hold light over there. I want to see what this is.
Alright. Tavis tries to get a better angle. Well, still, I guess, avoiding as much... Well, I think he's trying to stay out of what its line of sight would be while still holding the lamp to illuminate it, so it's a bit of a tricky thing.
Are you trying to be stealthy or not?
He's trying to be as stealthy as Sergei is, yes.
Okay, why don't you just roll me a stealth then? You're probably pretty good at that.
Yes.
Okay. So you watch where you step. You don't step on a little pile of pebbles that were there and step over some things that, oh yeah, he probably would have noticed if I stepped there. And the light starts to move around the body, and you start to see hundreds of small legs that are glistening with some dark liquid. And as the light slowly creeps from left to right, you see what look like mandibles munching and crunching into something that could well be a body. It's hard to tell. It doesn't seem to have eyes, though. It just seems to have this tough exterior shell with lots of legs beneath it and these pretty large mandibles that are crunching and tearing at flesh that's right there. There's also a glint of metal that you get that's on the ground, but it doesn't seem to be interested in that.
Has it stopped moving to
finish
its meal?
It's moving like left and right, just like shifting, couple inches this way, a couple inches that way.
Let's go back out. I do not want to see what it is eating.
At least it seems occupied.
You'll hear another strange noise. It seems to be emanating from the face of the creature, the mandibles. It's like a spraying noise.
I have a bad feeling about this place. Go back. Let's get out.
Okay.
Tavis is definitely gonna hightail it along with.
You get a waft of something acidic, a very like pungent smell starts to emanate from the creature.
Very carefully, going backwards until we're not into that area where the thing is set.
Okay.
Yep.
You guys creep back out. Avoiding the walls. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Okay. You hear the noises of whatever is happening behind you, and you're once again in the cavern with lots of different ways to go.
Well, that was not them.
No.
And I do not care to find out what it was doing down there. I've had bad feeling about spores. Everything seems to be bad around here. Let's avoid the spores. Let's avoid the chittering, whatever it is.
As you guys are at the mouth of that exit and you're creeping out, trying to avoid the thing behind you, you hear more noises. And things start to march out of one of the... Let's see here. So if you mark the X where you guys came in, I don't know. We'll just call it X. And then there's the cave to the left of it that you guys just came out. 1, 2, 3, 4. The sixth one around, a swarm of what look like mutated cockroaches about the size of a small dog come pouring and tumbling over one another out of that entrance. And then they go 2 more over and then march down into there.
2 of...
Let's see here. There's a lot of different ways here. I don't know what the best way to describe it. It's across the way from you.
Oh, okay. Across from where we came in.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So I don't know if we want to... the lacking of visual, media is actually kind of hurting us at this point. But, so if you guys are in cave 1, and you go around the cavern clockwise, if you're in 1, there's 2 to your left, 3, 4 is a little bit ahead of you to the left, 5. They came out of 6, past 7, and went into 8. And then there's 1 more. There's 9. There's 1 more cave entrance there.
Well, I can't imagine those things coexisting with the wasps, Sergey. And they probably wouldn't want to head towards the wasps, so let's eliminate those 2 routes.
How many of them were there?
9.
It was a swarm. It was they were like small dogs. So you're guessing, or maybe 30.
Oh. Let's not go down there.
No. So
maybe we should go from the direction they came from. Obviously, there's nothing down there since they already left.
But we don't know if they were going out to find food that they'll bring back that way, or if they'll be gone from there for good.
Maybe we should just go to the next one over after one with nasty chittering creature and spores.
That
That's on the other way.
Like a plan.
We don't have much backup down here. We actually are the backup. We're here to rescue. We're not here to come in and do anything else. Let's find our friends and get out of this horrible place.
So are you going to head to the left? Or are you going
the one that had that horrible chittering thing and had the spores in it, the one that next over from it.
Yeah, next over to
9, I imagine.
Okay, so...
The second to the left from the one we came in from.
Okay. Yeah, so you're gonna make a left then and go into the next cave. Okay, that makes sense. All right, so you still hear the sound of those those that swarm heading down one of the other caverns, and their little marching, tumbling over each other kind of sound kind of echoes through the caverns below. All right. So as you're moving forward, there is a single word scratched into the walls of this cavern. It says danger. Danger written in various different handwriting forms.
What does it seem to be written in? Or with, rather?
It seems to be scrawled with perhaps a dagger that scraped off the surface mold that's here. This isn't as a pale white. It's just seems like it's more like a dark green.
All right.
Well, I think there's probably something bad down here too.
Well, there seems a higher chance of it anyway.
There's a little bit of water at the where you guys are standing in places. It seems like it's very moist back here. There's just a lot of moisture in the air. And there seems like there's a lot of stalactites and stalagmites that are back here as well.
Maybe we should wander to the next one. Just get a brief appraisal of what our options are.
Yeah, options are good. Let's not go down here.
Yeah.
All right, so you'll continue around the giant cavern in a clockwise fashion, then it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next cavern over, this tunnel, it has lots of crumbled rock inside the entryway here. There's lots of pebbles and stones. It doesn't look natural, though. It looks like maybe these were scattered. You'll also see a pretty big boulder that's in the back of it. It seems like it's not like that's the end room, but there's a place there that just has a pretty large boulder that's kind of obscuring your view of what's behind.
Now, Sergei will carefully go up to the boulder and look around it.
Okay. It's a little narrow. Let's see here. You're wearing chain, I guess, right?
Yeah.
All right. You're trying to look around, and you can't get to a vantage point. You'd have to squeeze in further to get past it to see. But maybe you look over at Tavis. He seems like he's probably able to do that.
Yeah, he's a pretty scrawny guy.
Hey, you're small. You go in there and look.
Now, able and willing are two different things.
Very true.
I'm not certain, given the number of deadly crawling things, that's such a good idea.
But look on bright side. It is a small place. They probably could not fit through that.
As you guys are looking at those crumbled rocks that you've kind of walked over to get here, you look down and wait a minute. It looks like they're broken statues. You'll see stone fingers in places or stone knuckles. They're broken down pretty small, or maybe an eye or a nose or a bit of a face.
Do they look like they were well made?
Oh yeah, very well made.
Okay. If Tavis still has any small lit sticks, or I guess if he has any scraps of cloth that he can light, I think he'd like to try and shove them through the holes to see both to illuminate it a bit better and to smoke out anything that's in there, the gaps between the boulder and the wall.
Okay, so you're basically holding your sticks out and just trying to burn anything that's there or scare anything away.
Well,
okay.
While looking through.
Okay, all right. So you kind of squeeze in there and you look around. You see a statue of a well proportioned man. He's strong. He looks like his hand is outstretched, his left hand to the heavens. He's looking at his hand. There's a look of defiance in his eyes. It's very well crafted, but his right arm has been broken off, and you can see chunks of it below, like below the statue. The arm's been broken into like 5 different pieces. In addition to that, you see littered throughout this cavern another vast array of insect statues, detailed wasps and beetles, ants that look like they're in the midst of wrestling or attacking each other, but it's all in stone, and some of their legs have been snapped off, and other ones one of the ants' heads is cracked in half, and its mandibles at the base of the stone there.
Okay. Well, Sergey,
what do you see? Yes, what do you see down there?
It's just a bunch of old statues, but they're very well made. Do you know any artists who would spend the time to chisel out dozens of stone insects?
Do I know any artists?
Oh, fair enough.
I do not know too many artists to begin with.
Okay.
Second, I do not know artists that have fetish with bugs.
In addition, as you're looking around at the various bugs and so forth, there's something that almost you didn't see. It's at the very back of the cave. It seems like there was a pretty large lizard statue back there, but it's been cracked into 4 or 5 different pieces. Looks like it was probably about 20 feet in length.
There is an end to the cave?
Yeah, as you kind of look back there, it seems, yeah. Well, I guess your vantage point. It seems like it's pretty large back there. It seems like the cavern goes more to the left, like it might continue, but there is a back to it that you see, and that large stone lizard is back there, but it's been broken.
I don't think they'd be able to have carried our friends back here with much ease if this boulder was in the way.
Yeah, I don't think they're back there.
Should...
If they are, they would have had to squeeze them back there in very uncomfortable ways, and they probably wouldn't be alive anyway. So I don't think they're there.
Explore other options, then?
We have many options here.
It's a comfortable thing. Chavis backs his way out of there.
You hear a noise from I don't know, it doesn't seem to be coming from anywhere, but it seems close.
Okay. He'll back away faster then.
Sergei carefully turns around, looking around, see if he can see anything behind him, tell which direction the sound is coming from.
Sergei notes that some of those pieces of gravel that are on the ground are moving a little bit to the left, maybe a little bit to the right in places.
Hurry, get out of there! Hurry, get out of there!
Tavis is moving as fast as he can.
Tavis thinks he feels like a little breeze or something on his face at one point, maybe a fluttering of wings, but yeah, he manages to get out of there.
So that would have been from the side across the boulder or past the boulder?
Yeah, it was coming where you were looking at all those statues. Something was coming from there, it seemed.
Okay.
So you guys are heading back out to the main cavern. But you can still hear that buzz. It's just... It
was from back inside of there?
Yeah, it seemed like it was from where those statues were.
Okay, so this is looking slightly more likely.
As you guys are standing there, you've come back to the cavern. You hear voices coming from the main entrance where you guys had entered this place.
Okay. I think that Tavis is going to set the lamp down and quietly draw his crossbow.
Okay, you'll hear, "What about Mother? Oh, she won't be happy, but did you see how those bushes were moved? Someone's down here." "Oh, they won't last long. It'll be all right." "Do we have any new recruits?" "Oh, not yet. The ceremony hasn't been performed, the rites haven't been given, and the re-education hasn't begun yet. Oh, well, if the first few don't survive, we have plenty more. Oh, well, that's true. That army has provided us with some fresh meat. This way. And you'll see them come out of the entrance. Sergei will recognize them, I guess Tavis too, since he was stalking the group. They seem like more of these peace patrol types. They have uniforms, they have man catchers with them. They have, like, I think they're blue with blue uniforms with, like, red fringe above, like, the pockets and on tops of their shoulders. But there's 4 of them. It seems like the 2 front members are talking. But they walk out of the main entrance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then they head into the 6th passage. That's the one where the cockroaches came out of. And this will be talking about Mother.
He whispers, I have a feeling that's where they took them. These peacekeepers, I remember them on road. I do not trust them. They must have something to do with Evil Bug.
I have a similar feeling myself, Sergei. Let's stick close, but not too close. Keep to the periphery.
So Sergei slowly walks across the cabin. After they've gone down the passage, he waits a little while, just a short little while, then he follows into that passage behind him.
Okay.
Tavis does the same. Do they have a light source with them?
Yeah, they had a lantern as well.
Okay, we'll douse ours, I think. If that sounds okay.
Yeah, might as well.
Should we put it out?
Just close hood so it's not putting light out.
This works.
And just to keep you guys with the map here, so once you've explored the first 3 at least a little bit, you're going to skip 4 and 5 and head down 6, which is where they end. And there's probably going to be a little bit of light that you guys can see with the lantern that they have, if you want to stay that close. Otherwise, you're going to be walking in complete darkness.
Yeah, we'll just stay on the very edge of the light.
Okay. Why don't you guys go ahead and give me a stealth roll each, just to see how well you guys do this.
I rolled a 1.
Nice.
Yeah, I rolled a 3, but my skill is 3 on the d6. So.
That's excellent. So you're heading down this way, and there's a current of air that's sort of buffeting you in the face as you come this way. It has a smell of food and freshly cooked things, perhaps. Although there's some strange scents in there that you don't think you've ever smelled before. Stuff that doesn't smell like food at all. It smells like perhaps like alchemical. I think that's a word. Alchemy types of
alchemical.
Yeah, like chemicals. Strange smells like that waft up and mixing with the food.
What sort of food does it smell like?
It smells like roasting meat.
All right. Well, Tavis is actually kind of hungry, so hopefully he won't have a grumbling stomach through this.
You get to a part where the cavern goes to the left, and then sort of right, but also sort of straight. And they have gone right.
All right. Again, I think we're just going to try and follow close, but not too close.
Ahead you'll hear one of those voices saying, Mother calls you. You shall answer. Mother tells you to leave. And in the light that you guys are just on the edge of, you'll see insects that are crawling around their feet and are heading in your direction. It's more of those cockroaches. I think there's probably about 10 of them this time. And
we figure they're heading straight for us, or we might just be incidentally in the way. I guess it would be hard to tell.
Yeah, you don't know. They're just they're moving in your direction, I guess is the way to put it.
Tavis, I guess, tugs on Sergei's shoulder, directing back towards the. There was a split in the corridor, you said?
Yes, there was.
Okay. Towards the one that would have been to our left.
Okay. So now it's to your right as you turn around.
Yeah, if we can duck into that for a moment.
All right, you guys do that.
Yeah.
So now the light of the other torch that you were, or the other lantern that you were using has now, it's been obscured by the walls of the cave.
Yeah.
So are you, like, walking along the edge, putting your hand on the wall, or how are you guys doing this?
I think that Tabus at least is thinking of just ducking into this corridor and seeing if the roaches pass.
Okay.
And if they do, he might want to double back and get a closer look at that room.
So in complete darkness, smelling the smell of roasting meat and chemicals, you hear the clattering click as these things kind of come into the passageway there in front of you, where they could either go towards you or keep moving on. And for a second they slow. They stay there. And there seems to be some sort of pattern to the clicks that you now hear. And then you don't hear anything at all.
And they've just stopped at that intersection.
As far as you can tell.
Just stand as perfectly quiet as possible.
Yeah, Tabus will follow suit.
Silence. The darkness. Your eyes are starting to adjust maybe a little bit, or at least trying to, but that's not really working. You can perhaps hear each other's breathing. And that, when it's that quiet, you can hear everything.
Do these insects have eyes?
You're not sure.
Okay.
But after kind of an agonizing long amount of time, the sound will pick up again, and they'll keep heading down the passageway that you came down this way. So they're traveling the same path that the other cockroaches did.
Okay.
And the sound fades off into the tunnel.
Wow. What? After like a minute or so, Sergey's, what the hell is going on here? What is with these bugs? It's like they're intelligent bugs. They're sitting there listening for us.
Let's hope that's not what they were doing. It certainly did sound almost like they were talking, though, didn't it?
Even as you guys are whispering, it seems so loud now after that period of silence.
Pull hood back from lantern.
Okay. Tavis does so. We'll check out or at least he'll swing it around the corridor that they'd backed into.
You'll see something scrawled on the wall right behind you, and it says "Peace at any cost."
Does it look like it was perhaps marked by the same hand that made the danger marking?
Yeah, you would think it's the same handwriting.
Okay.
So you have the option of, like you're in that entryway right there. You can continue to follow the soldiers, or head, continue further on in this tunnel that you're now in, or try to follow the cockroaches back out to the main corridor. Or do something completely different.
We had the original plan of following those people that come down here. We should go down there. They were talking about recruits, so they were talking about people. Maybe that is the direction that these wasps carried off our comrades.
Let's hope so.
So he'll go back down the direction that the dog cockroaches came from.
Okay.
Yeah, Savis will follow, although keeping an eye to see if he can spot when it's bright enough from another light source that he can hood the lantern again.
Okay. It doesn't take too long, actually, before there's another light source, but it seems different than the lantern. As you guys are traveling, there's a pathway straight. The cavern continues to go on. And this also has water and moisture in it, all dripping from the walls and the ceiling, and it's puddling up in places on the ground. But there's a passageway to the right as well, and that's where the light is coming from. There's a magnificently bright light. As my cats are freaking out.
I was wondering what that
Cats are like trying to kill each other back here. Sorry. Yeah, there's a giant cat there now. So bright, flickering light, like rays of light, are radiating out from this entrance. It's very bright. It's almost as intense as daylight. And after your eyes have adjusted to the darkness down here, it's kind of painful.
And there's been no attempt made to create a barrier between it and the rest of the cavern. There are no curtains or anything.
Well, it's actually at this point your eyes are still adjusting to how bright the light is at this point. It's like you're kind of like blinking and squinting, perhaps.
Okay.
But after your eyes adjust, there seems like there are some statues carved out of the rock. They're depicting man-sized and human insect hybrids. Figures are intertwined, making it difficult to determine where one ends and another begins. They're disturbingly realistic and horrible to look upon. They seem like they are in congress with one another. Various lewd acts are being performed in the statues. And the shining light is reflecting off of things, and it's emanating from the eye holes that have been carved into each of the statues.
There's light coming out of the eye holes?
Yeah, so in like a giant firefly / man mating with a woman / beetle in their eyes, they're just open sockets where brilliant white light is pouring out.
Let us get by here quickly. I do not like these statues.
That seems wise, Sergei. We'll carry on down the hallway. You said that they'd gone past this room, yeah?
They seem to have.
Okay.
And the light sort of, like, if you look at one of the eyes, it seems like the light is flickering. Something perhaps is moving in the sockets, but as you move past this, correct?
Yeah, avoid looking in them. He doesn't want to see what's crawling around in the eyes.
Okay. Alrighty. So, as you guys are continuing moving down, same thing. Your feet are kind of getting wet from the water that's now in the base of the cave. It's so silent. Are you using the light of your lantern now, or are you crawling along the walls?
I think we're still using the light of the lantern unless there's a source from their lamps that they were carrying with them, or whatever they were carrying with them.
Okay. So you travel down for a little ways. All right. There's a strong foul odor that's starting to pick up in intensity as you move down the tunnel.
What does it smell like?
It smells like bile and excrement. You hear the sound of flies and
They sound like... Sorry.
Well, I'm sorry, what?
I was just wondering if they at least sounded like smaller flies.
They sound like smaller wings, at least, yeah.
That's good.
And you start to notice that in the water at your feet, there are lots of maggots and worms wiggling and writhing, inching their way along the floor. Some of them are floating, coating the walls.
Sergei stops. Okay, I've been meaning to do this. And he's, here, hold my sword for me.
Jairus does so.
So he carefully tucks his pants inside of his boots. He's just, because he doesn't want anything crawling up his boots getting inside, so he's putting his pant legs down inside of his boots, and then he's zipping his boots up and buckling them tightly over top of his pants. And then he pulls a rag out of his bag, and he wraps it around his mouth, and he takes his sword back.
Okay.
There, I feel a little bit more secure now.
That seems like an incredibly good idea, Sergey. Tavis is going to follow suit as closely as he can with his belongings.
All right. You guys will eventually make your way forward into a large underground lake, but it's not filled with water. There's just waste and foul things, and there's a small light that is flickering down from above that shows you what looks like a couple ropes that have been secured to some sort of platform. It looks like it's a metal cage, and it looks like it was just recently moved. It has some slimy stuff up the side of it, and you see prints that walk right up to it, and it's not in the water. It's sort of on the edge of this liquid. So it's not like they climbed into the pool and then climbed into this thing, but it seems like it goes up and down. Yeah, there's a relatively dry spot where this thing is resting, and you see the black footprints of 4 men that have gone into this metal cage that seemingly goes up.
Does it look like there's a rope that one would pull to hoist it up, like on a pulley type thing?
Yeah, there looks like there's 2 ropes.
Okay.
That are attached to the top of this metal cage. All right, this is where you guys are going to need to roll me a surprise check. And you do not want to roll 1 or 2. So,
D6? Or?
It's I'm sorry, it's a D6.
Okay.
Yeah, I rolled a 1.
That was a 6.
All right, Sergey is enraptured with the cage, I guess. But Tavis notices that the water has started to move. Things are coming out, and they're trying to go right at you guys.
Look at this cage. There must be some sort of way of pulling.
No.
What?
You just sort of like tugged him, I guess.
We need to get engaged somehow.
How about you roll a D6 for me, Alex? You want to roll high?
Okay. A 1.
Well, how are we going to get engaged and hoist it up?
4 giant shit-covered maggots crawl out of the abyss towards your direction. They are just inching their way. Feces is flopping and plopping off the sides of it. So, yeah. Okay. So, the 2, we're going to go 2 each, I guess. What is your armor class there, Alex, for Tavis?
Oh, that would be 12.
Boy. And how about yours?
I'm
Tim?
surprised I'm 17.
Oh, okay. All right. They are going to miss. They're basically lunging forward, trying to like flop their body weight on you. Sorry, my cats are like trying to kill each other back here. What the hell are you guys doing? Jeez. So 2 of them tried to flop on top of Sergey, and they can't get their body mass in the right direction. They can't flop in the right place. They're probably about 10 feet long. So they're splatting, and feces is flying in various directions, and water is sloshing out of their orifice. It's you're guessing is their mouth. But Tavis, on the other hand, one of them opens its mouth and inhales you. It's sloppy, like almost like giant lips slither over your skin all the way down to your ankles.
Oh.
So your feet are basically hanging out, like it sort of like lunged up and then came down on you, and its body mass just flopped and splashed. But you do have an action now. Let's see here. First thing I got to do. It's the soft, mucousy skin that's surrounding you presses inwards, and it seems like it's trying to crush you.
Did it wrench the crossbow free from my hands?
No, it didn't.
Can I just kind of blind fire into its side?
That's fine. You are going to take 9 damage from the crushing of this thing.
Okay.
And the smell inside is somehow worse than the outside.
Oh.
So yeah, go ahead and just make me an attack roll. Just tell me.
Well, at least I figure Sergei's aware of them now.
Yeah, Sergei is definitely aware of these things now.
Okay, that would be a 16.
Okay, I'm going to have you double the damage just because you're inside this thing.
Wonderful. Okay, 6.
Okay, let's see what these guys have. Alright, 6. Alright, so your crossbow bolt goes sticking into the side. It wrenches a big gaping hole in the material that's there, but it's really hard to see in here. It's almost pitch black.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so you guys can roll me a d6 for well, whoever wants to do it. It's your side versus the giant shit covered maggots. So I got a 4.
Okay.
So yes, let's roll d6.
A 2?
Okay. All right. So Sergei, the 3 maggots that are left sort of roll and flop, and they're trying to get you in their mouth as well. Let's see here. Wow. Okay, one of them actually falls and rolls back into the swamp. It looks like it got knocked out of the way by another one. But one is going to do the same thing to you as it did to Tavis. The orifice stretches and the skin kind of peels back and sort of just inhales you. Let's see here. You're going to take 5 damage as the viscous fluid and stuff just squishes in around you, and the light of the lantern goes out because you're inside of it now. So, yeah, are you going to reload your crossbow, Alex, or what are you going to do?
I think
try to squeeze your way out or squirm your way out.
Tavis is going to try and contort himself through that big gaping hole he made.
Oh, okay. Try to you can put your hands in it and try to tear it open.
Yeah, something like that.
You gotta put your arm through first. How do you think?
I figure I'll have a better chance trying to slip through with both my arms than trying to go out the mouth with all those muscles pulling me back.
Okay. Why don't you roll under? I'll give you a choice, under strength or dexterity, whichever you think is better.
I think his method is more the dexterous one.
Okay.
Not today, though.
Okay. All right. The muscles that are around your legs must be too tight. You just can't move in that direction for some reason. That they're starting to just crush around you. How about Sergei? I have a hard time remembering that name for some reason. But what does Sergei do in this situation?
So I'm swallowed?
Yeah, but your feet are outside of its mouth still.
Oh, okay. Well, I still have my sword out, and I start slashing away out the inside.
Sort of just moving it and
trying to stabbing and trying to cut it.
Okay.
Slash my way out of it.
Make me an attack. And same thing, I'll let you double the damage if you hit.
Okay, so I rolled a 17 plus 6, 23. Okay, I rolled a 6. So 6 plus 1 with my strength, 7 times... Double the strength?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's 14.
I'm sorry, double the damage. So, yeah, I guess. Okay. So you did 7 then?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So you'll slash the entire side of the of the maggots, like beside its mouth, basically, and you're going to come pouring out. This, fluid that smells fouler than the stuff that they've been swimming in pours out around you and sort of belching you out onto the ground.
Oh, wonderful.
And you're going to see Tavis's right hand sticking out of the side of the one that inhaled him. All right.
I try to gather myself up and get back to my feet.
Okay. I think it's another round of initiative, actually. So who wants to roll a d6 this time?
I rolled a 4.
Oh, okay. I rolled a 3 this time. So.
How close am I to the one where his hand is sticking out of?
It's probably right next to you. There's one fell back in. There's the one that Tavis was inhaled by, and there's another one that looks like it's going to attempt to do the same thing to you as the first one. The one that you cut yourself out of is not moving. It's just laying, and it's the top of it is starting to fold down. Like it's going from a round spherical shape to just a flat pancake sort of shape. It's starting to just crush under its own weight, it looks like.
Oh. Well, get out of there.
I'm trying, Sergey.
Well, cut your way out. That's what I did. I attack the other one that's coming towards me first.
Okay. They make me an attack.
Ooh, it rolled a 20.
Oh, okay. I should have had this opened already, but there's a little house rule I have for natural 20s and fumbles and so forth. Where's it at? Range weapon. Melee. Okay. Do you happen to have a D30? I can roll for you if you don't.
No, I don't have one.
Okay. Let's see here. You're going to gain +1 wisdom from this attack. So your wisdom stat is permanently 1 higher.
Oh, wow.
You don't do a ton of damage, but yeah, you learn something from this encounter, which is probably don't
avoid giant maggots.
Avoid giant maggots covered in feces. Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
But you're go ahead and roll damage. That's fine.
Oh, I rolled a 4 +1, that's 5.
Okay. All right, so you hack off like one of the side, not really a lip, but I don't know what else to call it. Just a chunk of it sort of like falls and peels down the side of it and sort of like splashes into the stuff around you. All right, Tavis has his hands out. You can feel the moisture on it. One hand is free. Is there anything else that you do?
Okay. I think he's actually going to pull that hand back in. He's going to see if he can try and get the thing to spit him up by unscrewing a flask of oil and pouring it on its insides.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so you reach back, grab a flask of oil, uncork it, and just dump it out as fast as you can?
Yes, and hope that it doesn't like the sensation.
Let's see here. Let's see.
Unfortunately, I doubt it's that picky an eater, given the mess.
It actually vomits you out. The muscles that have been constricting you are now loose, and there is a pushing sensation that you get from the back of it, and you come pouring out, tumbling onto the ground.
I'm sure that feels good, apart from tumbling into shit.
So you're tumbling over like sharp rocks that are under there, and rolling, and you're soaking wet at this point.
Yeah, in oil. Okay. He's not going to be holding any lanterns for the next little while.
All right, so you guys actually won initiative that turn. So there's 1, 2. All right, that one spits you out. The one that spits you out, it is not interested in you guys anymore at all. It turns around and plunges down into the water. The last one, though, is, let's see here, who's he going to attack? Looks like he's going after Tavis. He's going to try to inhale you. Oh, and he does.
And I'm covered in oil.
You are? Oh, yeah, you are covered in oil. So let's say that its mouth goes over you. It starts to crunch down. It's gonna do 1 point of damage. But then it releases, and it does the same thing. It turns around and plunges back into the water, splashing liquid up onto the sides and onto your feet and lower part of your legs. And then it's quiet once again, except for the writhing maggots and stuff that are everywhere, the small ones.
I think Tavis is liable to stumble as quickly as possible into that cage and just kind of collapse there for a moment.
Okay.
Right. You okay there, Sergey?
Oh, I'm sorry, I had my mic muted. So he's standing there with his arms and legs separated, so they're like he's carefully not touching himself. He's just looking at himself. What is this? This is disgusting. He just tries wringing off his clothes and wiping it all off as best as he can.
There's a large splash from the center of the lake as you guys kind of glance and catch. It looks like bodies are being thrown from above. Another splash happens as you see like just a glint of red hair. It looks like a woman. She splashes down and they just there's more coming.
Is there light from above?
There is a light from above that gets sort of eclipsed every once in a while whenever these bodies are being thrown through it.
Right.
But it seems like as you wait, 6 bodies have been thrown down into the water. And you're pretty sure they were naked as they were being dropped.
This is from where the cage goes up to?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
We may want to wait that out. Sergey, should we wait until they stop dropping bodies on us?
I don't care. I'm covered in feces and maggot juice, and I'm going to stand here for a moment and try not to vomit.
Good plan. And yeah, Tavis is just lying back against the cage.
This whole ordeal, it inspired me in my way of thinking, and I'm going to stop and think about these things for a moment. I feel as if my whole life course is going to change from this point on. I just need a moment. Leave me to my moment.
You have your moment, Sergey. I'll just listen to the bodies drop.
More splashing happens. 2 more bodies can get tossed down below. You hear basically just bits and fragments of what they're saying above. This lot was worthless. We'll have to refine our methods. The mother won't be pleased. She spent much wealth designing this place. But with the encroaching army, do you think they're going to come here? We're out of the way. It's get an ankle there. Get an ankle. Oh, hurry up! Here she comes. Another body comes splashing down in, and the light that was being eclipsed by this stuff is now bright again.
Okay. Well, as Tavis was listening to this, he'd probably do maintenance on and reload his crossbow. And stare up to see whether there are like shadows dancing around up there, or I don't know how high up it is.
As you guys look up, it looks like it's probably about 40 feet up.
Oh, okay.
But it seems like it's no one's there at the moment.
Good. How was your moment, Sergey?
My moment tells us we should try to find a way up there and kill whoever it is throwing bodies down.
Can I use a tinkering check to figure out how the rope pulley thing might work?
Okay.
Or how one might raise the...
Yeah, why don't you roll tinkering? That sounds good.
Okay. Success.
Okay. It looks like the ropes are tied to the top of the cage, and you're guessing that there's some sort of crank or something that's above.
We may not be able to take the cage with us, Sergey.
Was this the only way, only thing in the way we came in, and this was the only place we had to go?
Let's see here. This was the end of the path that those soldiers had gone to.
Okay.
The Lake of Feces is
The Lake of Feces.
is the end of this particular corridor. Yeah.
If you wanted to, we could go check those statues with the frightening eyes.
No.
I did not think so.
Is there any way that I could climb up it? How far up is it?
It's 40 feet up. The walls are rough rock, but you think it might be a tough climb, especially since there's there's feces and lots of moisture everywhere.
But I mean, attached to the cage, is there like a rope or anything that we might be able to climb up?
Yeah, there's the rope that it basically goes up 40 feet. And it actually looks like Zig's online now. He must have woke up. So at some point he's going to be jumping in here.
Okay.
All right. So there's two ropes attached to the top of the metal cage that go up 40 feet to that light that's like an opening.
Okay. Just carefully look around the whole room just to see if there's anything else in here.
You do see the floating bodies, but you notice that there's a lot less of them now. You'll just see that every once in a while they'll get sucked down.
Oh. Maggots. Well, we only killed 2 of them, so there's still 2 left. Yeah, just keep searching around the entire room.
Well, like I said, most of it is the Lake of Feces.
Okay.
There is that sort of edge, and you only really see is it's mostly boot prints here. You don't really see a lot of insect legs or marks or anything.
Well, carefully go. Did we go up to the cage?
You're in the cage as far as I know.
Oh, we're in the cage. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I assumed anyway.
I know there is a crank up there, but if we wanted to, does it look like we might be able to just pull on one of the ropes and get the mechanism to? Or is it a different design? Is it just?
It looks like it's sort of like a double crank that, or one crank that pulls up 2 ropes simultaneously.
Right. Okay.
So getting up there from down here, it almost seems like they perhaps yell up to someone.
Okay.
Maybe to crank it for them.
That makes sense.
Should we? I do not know.
We could check that room that we ducked into to avoid the roaches, Sergey. There might be another path up there.
I do not see any other option.
Well, none that are appealing, anyway.
At any rate, we can't stay here. This nasty maggot will come back for us.
Okay, guys. Let's take a little break here for a second. I'm trying to add Zig to the call.
Okay. Sounds good.
Mess things up here. All right. And contacts. All right. Hopefully this works. Zig, you there? Oh, Zig, I can't hear you.
Hello?
Oh, there you are. Okay.
Sorry about that. My alarm did not go off.
That's tough, man. It's all right. Guess I'll bring you up to speed. I just to sort of make things work better. I had Rayhan and Melzi basically kidnapped by a group of wasps, giant wasps, and taken into the facilities. You were stung several times.
Okay.
I guess we'll just start with you. And everything sort of went to black.
Okay.
You woke up in a pile of bodies of other people that looked like they were stung, but they weren't wrapped. They weren't bound or anything like that. And you saw that they were a group of these soldiers, those peace soldiers, the Citizens Peace Patrol that you had bumped into before. There was about 10 of them, and you noticed that Ramelzi was nowhere around you. His body wasn't in the pile that was beside you. And as you were laying there, you saw that more soldiers were coming up through this hole and heading off into the distance. It seemed like that was perhaps the way that you came in. It had a crank there. It looks like it lowers and raises this something from below, perhaps a method, a cage that the soldiers have come out of. And every once in a while you'll see some of these soldiers come up and they're dragging bloodied bodies past you, past the pile that you're in. You notice some of these people look like townsfolk, like peasants. They're literally piled up like cordwood. This is a pile, and sometimes you'll see a soldier come by, and once you thought he was gonna realize that you were awake, but he grabbed an old woman that was piled beside you. Her hair sort of tickled your face as they were dragging her away. So at some point you hear that these two soldiers are talking about program, and the mother is not going to be happy. You heard glimpses and phrases that are sort of, they come in and you understand them, but there's something going on with you. There's you're guessing maybe the stings. Your sight is blurry. You feel like a burning sensation in your chest and stomach in the various places that you were stung. But the soldiers think that you're unconscious. They think that you're poisoned and not able to move, but you are. What do you do?
Are the wasps anywhere near at this point?
You don't see any wasps, no.
And I see that these guys are going in one particular direction, eh?
Soldiers are coming up through the hole, through that cage. The other soldiers are cranking them up, and they're heading down a corridor. So there's the hole in the ground, the pile that you're thrown into, and a pathway that soldiers are coming and going to.
I'm gonna watch the soldiers and time them, see how long it takes for one group and then another group.
Okay.
To arrive, and then once I see that there's a pattern, then I'm going to make my move. Try to be as quick as possible down that corridor between groups.
Okay. You think that they're about half an hour between.
Oh, perfect.
But as you try to make your way down there, you're going to see that there's a locked door.
That's no problem. Is my backpack with me still, or has that been removed?
Yeah, we'll say that's with you.
Okay. I will get to my lockpicks, and I will try to open this door.
Okay.
And here we go. Tinkering, correct?
Yep.
Alright, I gotta get 4 or under. I got a 4.
Okay. You're going to open the door, unlock it. Inside, you're going to see a corridor to the right, corridor to the left, with lots of doors, and an entryway forward. It looks like this is some sort of large complex.
How does the ground look? Is it like?
It's clean. It's made out of chiseled stone. It's flat. It's symmetrical. It's definitely man-made.
7 to decide between left or right. I'll take. If there's no evidence of any recent travel.
There are some muddy footprints everywhere.
Oh, perfect. I'll follow the muddy footprints.
Okay. And then we'll go back to the other guys. So you guys had talked about climbing up the ropes.
Yes.
That had been in consideration, yeah.
I don't think with us covered in the maggot vomit that we can climb up ropes very well.
No, I'm kind of doused in oil, so.
I guess
Doesn't
our
seem
only
wise.
choice. If we cannot find some lever or something to activate the cage to pull us to the top, then we must go back to the other way.
Yeah, we were talking about going back to that corridor we ducked into to avoid the roaches.
You do see that there is a small string, now that you're looking. It looks like it perhaps goes up there to maybe ring a bell.
Oh, okay. What the hell? Let's ring bell. Let's pull string. What is worse can happen? We've already been vomited on by maggots.
Tavis winces, but lets Sergei pull the string.
Okay, so he just pulls on it. He just tugs on it a few times.
Rayhan hears the ringing of a bell behind him.
I'll immediately jump behind a corner or something. And
It's coming from the area where the soldiers are coming up through that hole.
I crouch and watch. See what's going on.
I think Tavis is going to point his crossbow at the top of the hole just in case one of the soldiers comes back.
Rayhan is going to hear a door open. You said that you went to the left. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was following the muddy footsteps.
Okay. As you went to the left, there was probably 1, 2, 3. 4. There's 5 different passageways to the right in this corridor. How far down the tunnel did you go? I guess not a tunnel. It's more like a hallway.
I don't know. I wouldn't say I went too far.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna say that out of that first entryway that was like right in front of you, when you first came in through that door, you're gonna see a soldier head towards the ringing of the bell.
I'll inquisitively watch him. If there is room to hide and follow him, I'll do that.
Okay. Yeah, you think you can get pretty much right behind him and look through that doorway that you picked. You could probably hide there.
Should I make us, what do you call it, roll? A stealth roll?
Yeah, let's see here. I think that would... I don't think there's a hiding. Yeah, stealth would work.
Okay, I got a 2, so that succeeds.
Alright, so you'll watch him go over to the crank beside the pile of bodies, and he will put both hands out forward, and he'll just start moving them up.
So he's within line of sight now, right?
Yeah, you'll see a soldier that's starting to crank the crank at the top of the thing, and the cage starts to move upwards.
Okay, I'm going to at least take aim, but try to keep a low profile, I guess.
Okay.
Does it look like it would drop me if he let go of the crank?
Yeah, you think it would.
Oh, crap. Alright, never mind. Putting the crossbow probably, to his side anyway, not pointing it at him.
But it's still loaded and everything. So.
Yeah.
Alright, so the cage is sort of shaking left and right. The ropes are being moved up. The crank seems like it needs oil badly. Kind of creaks a little bit. But eventually you're going to get to the part where you can see him face to face and he can see you face to face. So
Can we get out of the cage?
It doesn't have a doorway or anything. It's just an opening. So did you just want to jump out? You still there, Tim?
Yeah, can you hear me?
You kind of went blank there for a little bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, as soon as I get up to the top, I'm just going to leap out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tavis going to do the same thing? Okay.
Sounds like the best possible plan.
How about you guys roll under dex to see if you can get out before he drops the cage?
5.
Natural 20.
Oh, no.
All right,
Beautiful.
So Rayhan is going to see Sergei jump out of the cage and land roughly on his stomach. He's going to see Tavis try to do the same thing, except he gets halfway out of the cage, and then the cage falls as the soldier lets go of the crank, and it just kind of spins
Oh my God.
and ropes.
I'll run for the rope. Instead of backstabbing this guy, I'll run for the rope.
Gotta run and try to just, I guess, stop the crank?
Yeah, I'll jump on the rope and like apply my weight down to it. Even though I'm a skinny dude.
Okay, how about you roll under strength with D20? Try to keep the cage from
Where's my strength?
plummeting off.
Okay, I got a 50-50 chance. Okay, I rolled 16, so I didn't do it.
Okay. Let's see here. Why don't you roll under Dex as if Dex were 4 less? So, to try to not get pulled down into the pit
So
below.
under 11. Whoa. Round die. There we go. I got 8. Oh my god, I got 18.
Okay, so Rayhan grabs onto the rope and he gets pulled down. He plummets and splashes into a lake of feces. Tavis is in the cage. He lands roughly on the ground. Oh, you're in a metal cage. That's probably going to hurt a little bit. That's not too bad. You're going to take 2, and Rayhan is going to take 2 from landing roughly on the water.
What is this?
Yeah, the taste of bile and rotten corpses is in your mouth, and you can feel that there's movement below you and beside you.
Oh my god.
Ripples of waves are splashing into you. You're probably, treading water at this point.
I'm gonna go try to climb on top of the cage if it's not fully submerged.
Okay. So it's sort of like half in the water, half not.
Okay.
Let's see here. I guess we'll go with Sergey first. What are you doing up there, Sergey?
Well, I quickly get to my feet.
Okay.
I'm going to try to lunge at the soldier with my sword. I just go, ha-ha! And just charge at it.
Okay, the soldier just let go of the thing, and he looks like he's turned to run back, to perhaps give warning of what's happening. So, go ahead and make an attack. And he's got his back turned to you. So how about you get like a +2 to your attack?
Okay, so I rolled a 15 plus 12, my 6. So that's 22.
Oh, that's plenty. So roll me some damage. What'd you get?
5.
Okay. Your sword comes slashing down. He's just wearing he has no armor. He's just wearing a uniform, and your sword severs into his back. His legs stop moving, and his body just flops to the ground. He's dead.
Okay. I grab him by the feet and pull him back into the room where we were at, by the pulley.
Okay.
I lean my head over the side. Hello down there. Are you okay?
No.
I would get out of water. There are giant man-eating maggots in there.
Sergey, would you mind getting the rope or the pulley? The crank?
Zig, what's Rayhan's armor class?
My armor class.
Get in cage. I will pull you up.
Melee 16, range 17.
Okay. As you're sort of half in the water, you feel this sucking sensation and the feeling of warm, slimy flesh quickly enveloping you, sliding up from your legs to your chest, and then sort of like blubbery lips push into the sides of your face. You feel a constriction of flesh wrapped around you like a cocoon.
How big is this thing?
You're not sure, but it seems like it's obviously bigger than you because it has basically swallowed you whole. Your part of your face is exposed to the air. The rest of you, however, has been enveloped. You take 4 from the squeezing sensation. It's painful around your ankles and knees, and it's hard to breathe.
I panic.
A little bit of water splashes in your mouth.
Get out of there.
Sergey? Do you have any oil up there, Sergey?
Yes.
Toss one down.
I'm going to die.
I carefully drop one down. Catch!
And hopefully I do.
Why don't you roll under Dex to try to catch it? So they shatter on the top of the cage or something.
Yes, I actually did this time.
Okay. Are you going to... So what does Tavis do?
Tavis is going to try and pour it down the gullet of this thing.
Okay. All right, so you're actually going to have to pour oil on Rayhan's face then.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
You'll thank me for this.
All right, so Rayhan, you're constricted. You have this terrible, it's dark. It smells foul and horrible, and then oil gets dumped on your face and around your face. What do you try to do? You try to squirm your way out?
I'm trying to wiggle my way out.
Okay. Why don't you roll under strength? Let's see what happens.
Under strength. All right. What if I roll right on strength?
Oh, that's
what
good.
Does that mean?
That's good. Yeah. It's yeah. I always say roll under, but it's that number or under.
Okay.
So yes. You describe how you pull your way out, or wiggle your way out.
Do I have access to my arms, or are my arms in this thing?
They are, but since you rolled it, you can describe what you do with them. You can break them free, basically.
All right. I'll as I'm within this thing, I'll like widen my legs so that I'm like really causing it issues with its sides. I'll force my arm out, grab the side of the cage, and almost like shimmy my way out of this thing using my arm to pull myself out.
Okay, and as you do that, the oil is there, and you actually feel the muscles that are constricting you sort of start to lessen, start to release you.
Perfect.
And at the end, like you pulled your way out, and then there's actually a pushing motion. The thing seems like it's spitting you out, and you're sort of flung against the side of the cage. And as you look back, you just see this giant excrement-covered maggot that slides back into the water.
All right, I'll probably throw up at this point.
Okay.
I'll glance up. I was like, "Get us out of here!"
I get in the cage.
I move my way into the cage.
Okay.
Arms wrapped around me.
Yeah, Tavis is there as well.
Yeah.
And this is the first
time.
This is the first time that you've seen Tavis in a long time. You had adventured with him before, but yeah, he's here with Sergei apparently.
I'll widen my eyes as I notice that it's Tavis, and I'll wrap my arms around him. Oh, thank the sun.
Tavis will just kind of gently peel you off of him to avoid being in the splash zone, and give you a few friendly pats on the back to, shake any remaining spray out.
I believe Sergei said that you have to ring the bell.
I ring the bell like crazy.
He starts cranking it up.
It's a little heavy with both of them in there, but you're able to do that. And Rayhan,
is there a way of, when they get to the top, is there a way of locking it in place or something?
Yes, there is a lock. There's like a lock.
Okay. Once it gets to the top, I just put the latch in, the lever, and lock it in place.
Okay. And
then I search the body of that soldier I killed.
Okay. He has a ring of keys on his belt. He has a neck collar that has a red pigment to it. It looks like it might be leather. It seems kind of strange to you. He has a man catcher. It's just basically like a stick with something that goes around someone's neck, like a rope that you pull at the same time to sort of, but he doesn't really have any weapons or anything. And it's just basically his uniform.
I take his collar off.
Okay, it sort of looks like it's sort of like a belt that basically just you can put it around your neck and just lock it in place.
I just put it in my bag.
Okay. And Tavis,
is those horrible.
Oh, go.
I talked to Ryan. Is those peacekeepers? These are the ones that are in charge of these bug rooms and the vomit and the maggots. They're throwing bodies down. I do not know what they're doing here, but they're not very peaceful peacekeepers. We heard them talking about someone called the Mother, And
So
they were
did I.
talking about a bad batch of people that they've taken, and they've been killing people and doing all sorts of nasty bad things. I do not know what it is, though.
I saw them carrying bodies in that direction, and I'll point to where the muddy prints lead.
Tavis's eyes widen with a sudden realization. Alright, Rayhan, you're here, but where's Ramalzi?
I don't
Was he with
know.
you?
I was looking for him earlier, and I did not see him. He was with me.
Tavis
But-
looks worryingly back at the pit.
You guys are also going to see some latrines that are basically around the edge here.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
What else is in the room?
It's just basically the pile of people. They seem like they've been poisoned or they're somehow unconscious from some method. There's the latrines. There's the door that Rayhan picked that goes forward. And that's just the hole with a metal cage. That's pretty much it.
Sergei goes over to the people and see if any of them are alive.
They seem like they're all alive. There
Oh,
is
okay.
12 of them.
Is any of them a good friend?
You look for Ramalzi's chewed up, skin and arms and so forth, and no, it seems like they're mostly peasants or people from the local towns.
Hopefully he was in the good batch.
They must have taken him then.
Or he's down there in the crap.
Well, either he's alive or he's dead.
I suppose there isn't much else to it, is there, Sergei?
He's either alive somewhere else, or he's dead down there, or dead somewhere else. So he's either alive somewhere else, which is not here, or he's dead somewhere else. So we must go somewhere else. He checks those people, see if any of them are awake or anything.
They seem like they're all just unconscious. You try to maybe slap them or move them around a little bit, and they, for whatever reason, Rayhan seemed to not have been affected by the poison like the other ones had.
Well, there's nothing we can do for them here. Maybe if we kill all of these peacekeepers in a very non-peaceful way, we can come back for them. But we must find Ramalzi.
I agree with that sentiment. We must at least find Ramalzi or get ourselves out of here.
Yes. The best way to do that is to follow these prints.
Before he does that, before he leaves, Sergei takes the shirt off of one of them and starts wiping himself down.
Okay.
I do not like having feces on me and maggot vomit, so I will clean myself up for a moment.
Yes. The smell makes it difficult to hide. I'll look down at myself.
I think Tavis has kind of resigned himself to the fact that he's soaking in oil, so he's going to take a close look at the footprints and see if they have that circular pattern we were finding outside.
Wait, the circular pattern?
Yeah. Or would that have just... Because there was one just at the entrance to the cave system, wasn't there? These little circles.
Oh, there was, yeah.
If it's just a walking stick or something, then that's not going to be... probably wouldn't show up.
You don't see anything like that up here. You just see the muddy boot prints. It seems like those prints that you're talking about, the little circle indentations, were pretty much down in the cave system.
Okay. Just curious as to what they were. Is there anything suitable for cleaning oil off of someone?
There are clothes on the people that are unconscious.
Oh, okay. Well, it's worth a change, I guess.
Are you going to dress yourself in some of the clothes that are there?
Sure.
Or dry yourself off? Yeah, you can do that.
I think these ones are pretty wrecked. So.
Yeah, I'll do the same for myself.
Okay.
I'll fold up my armor and leave it in a nice pile.
What did the guy's uniform look like?
It's blue with a red fringe on the tops of the pockets and tops of the shoulders.
Is there any clothing that's similar to that in the pile of corpses? Or
There's the one off the dead soldier.
There is.
Not the dead soldier, yeah.
I'm
Stabbed in the back.
trying to figure out who's best to wear that if one of us should.
Are these guys, like, culturally, are these guys all white dudes?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
So it shouldn't be me wearing it, because I look Middle Eastern.
How tall was this guy?
He looked like he was probably about 5'8".
Okay.
I'm not putting on clothes.
Alright. Well, Tavis is going to.
Okay.
Just in case.
I may be covered in feces, but I'm not putting on dead man's clothes.
That is respectable.
Well, not so much that. It's just I'm not putting on dead man's clothes.
Tavis has no such qualms.
Yeah, I'm wearing dead man's clothes too.
Alright, so you said that you wanted to follow the boot prints, is that correct?
Yes.
Alright, so as you walk in, there is a doorway straight in front of you. That's where the soldier came out of to go crank up the cage. There is a tunnel, or not tunnel, I keep saying tunnel. There's a walkway or a hallway to the right. It looks like it goes down and turns to the left. And there is a series of light sources here. They're very bright white and they're flickering. There's holes in the walls that these lights come out of. So you don't need lanterns or anything. They're spaced out every 10 feet.
Well, I'm sure my lantern was doused anyway.
Sure. But so there's like I said, there's a walkway right in front of you, a doorway. There's a passageway to the right that heads down and looks like it eventually heads to the left. To the left, as you guys look down the hallway, you're going to see 1, 2, 3, 4 different ways to the right. And it looks like the second one, that's where the muddy boot prints travel to.
Any markings? And are there any, like, writings or markings on anything?
You're going to see that some of the doorways have slogans, peace at any cost, re-education systems, things like that.
Which door? The one that we're going through, what does that say?
It says re-education systems.
Interesting.
Let us go in there.
Yep, we'll walk on in.
Some enlightenment.
You've been getting a lot of that today, haven't you, Sergey?
Yes, this has been a very enlightening experience.
Alright, let's take a game.
I would like to share some enlightenment with them. And he pulls his sword out.
Okay, so you follow the boot prints. The doorway is right in front of you. It looks like it has a pull handle. And the pull handle is probably stained a little red in places. Looks like it's been cleaned up, but the stains have sunk into it.
Is it locked?
You don't know.
Can I make a tinkering check to tell?
Let's see here. I don't even think you really need to. It just looks like it just opens up.
Okay.
Open door. Someone opened the door.
I'll check it for traps.
Okay, sure.
That's a tinkering check, correct? Or is that something else? Search?
I think it's probably... Well, I thought there was... I guess it's open door that I'm thinking of. There's spine traps.
Yeah,
Punch
there's
traps, I see it, yeah. Oh man, that's not a good one. I missed it.
Okay. You think it's fine.
Okay, I'll open it.
Okay, so the door opens up, and inside you're going to see, let's see here, a fairly large room. Up here. Looks like it's about 40 feet by 40 feet. There is a giant cage filled with ants in the center. They look like they're about the size of small horses.
Mm-hmm.
They're sort of chittering to each other and crawling over one another, but they can't get out of the cage. All along the walls, you're going to see people hung up by their ankles. Their sexual organs have been removed. They look like they're all sewed up. There's stitch marks down the center of their chest. Some of them are missing limbs, missing chunks of skin in various patterns. One says peace, like they literally remove pieces of skin to write out words on their body. Whore is written on one. Obscene, damned is written on another one. All their eyes are sort of rolled back into their heads, and their lower jaws, and like I said, they're upside down or are quivering. And there's like this low murmur that's in the room that's coming from all of them. Almost like a chant of monks.
Does it sound human?
It sounds like it's noises made by a human voice.
Okay.
It's just like a low chant, murmur, painful sob, perhaps. Also in the room, there is a doorway to the right, and there are various tables filled with implements of torture, pain-bringing, all kinds of things like that.
And there's a pile of ants?
There's a cage filled with ants, giant ants.
With giant ants?
Yeah,
yes, the size of small horses, I think I said.
Oh, okay, but they're locked up in cages?
Yeah, that's in the center of the room.
Okay, I understand.
It seems like the ants have a harness over their torsos.
Oh, they're riding ants. And the people, they're hung upside down.
They're hung upside down. All of their sexual organs have been removed.
Yeah.
They're sewed up. Their eyes are rolled back into their heads, but their eyelids are open, so you see the whites of their eyes. And
Sergei walks up to one of them and just looks at one of them and smacks him in the face a little bit.
The mother is our guide. The mother is our guide. The mother we worship, worship, worship. Mother, 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 mother. Drink. Drink her righteousness from her breast.
Now, none of them are Ramalzi, right?
You do not see Ramelzi hanging from... I have not removed Ramelzi's sexual organs, no.
This is good.
I haven't done that to it yet.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah. This seems wise, Sergei.
Let's go through the other door.
Yeah, there's another door that exits... I guess to the right. Let me put the map again. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that murmur is just sort of reverberating off the walls, and as you get close to the door, all their mouths will open and say, "Mother."
Okay, that was unnerving.
It was.
We're all in agreement then.
Maybe their mother is through this door.
I'll pull out my sword.
Why don't you guys roll under wisdom with the d20, see if you guys can hear what...
Ooh, now I can use my new enhanced wisdom.
I succeeded.
I failed by 1.
Those that succeed hear the sound of perhaps metal hitting wood, metal clanking against metal. You hear the sound of perhaps boiling water.
Behind that door? I'll describe what I hear, and I'll... Is it behind the door, or...
Yeah, it's behind the door. You haven't opened.
I'll open the door just a crack and peer inside.
Okay. Let's see here. In there you see a fairly large room. Looks like it's also 40 by 40. There's 3 doorways other than this one. One to the hallway that you guys came in, another straight ahead, and one to the left. But inside the room itself, you see about 6 what look like people wearing like clean clothing, but it's stained with blood. They're wearing white. They have these marks on their forehead, burned in the shape of what looks like a beetle, some sort of beetle tattoo or scarification. They are chopping up meat and with like meat cleavers and slicing apart with knives. You'll see that there's a human torso on this sort of like metal table, and they're peeling the skin off of it. They have various fruits and vegetables in large bins that they are decorating on a plate, like sort of putting around the edge of it, and they look like they're putting a large cooked piece of meat in the center. They're putting like this slathery sort of like red substance on the top of it. Sort of sprinkling some herbs as well. There's let's see here. It basically looks like they are turning people into ornately choreographed and artistic-looking meals.
Cannibals.
What did you see in there, Rehan?
I'll glance back to the group and say they are making people into food. Look, I'll step back from the crack.
I look in there. Let's just kill them.
You'll hear a voice from the torso that's on the metal table. Just let me go. I won't tell anyone. Please. Please, why are you doing this to us?
How many people did we see?
There's 6 chefs. And,
they got no access to blades then, right? Just knives,
just
maybe?
the meat cleavers.
Yeah, meat cleavers and like dagger-sized.
Is there any way that I could find something to hide behind? Like, is there anything I could, like... I'm not going to open the door fully, but just open it just enough to kind of, like, hunker down and move behind cover. Is that possible, or is that impossible?
It's a small room. Let's see here. You kind of think that's probably impossible with 6 eyes looking, in various places.
I'll look back to the group. Just kill them, you say?
Let's just kill them.
Okay.
Sergei pulls his sword out and puts his shield on and walks straight in.
Alright, I'll follow right behind you.
Okay. He just walks up to the nearest one with a meat cleaver and slashes at him.
Okay. Alright, give me an attack.
I rolled a 13 plus 6. That's 19.
That's funny.
So that was 3. So he just comes up and just slashes down with his sword right at him.
Okay. Feel free to describe how he dies.
He just walks up right behind him and runs his sword right through the middle of his chest, and his sword just explodes out his sternum.
Okay.
He just pulls it. He puts his foot on his back, just pushes as he pulls his sword out.
So his body will flop against one of the counters and then sort of roll down onto the ground, lifeless. The other chefs will... let's see here. That's pretty shocking. Let's see. Yeah, they're gonna all just look at you wide-eyed and not really do anything about it at all. I just rolled some dice for them. How about Tavis and Rayhan? What do you guys?
Do we have surprise?
Yeah, you totally do. Yeah.
Okay. Then I'll fire crossbow at one of them, I guess.
Okay.
16?
Yeah, that'll hit. And, geez, it's been a while. Is Tavis a specialist?
Yes, and he has
sneak attack?
At least, 1 point on the sneak attack.
Okay, I think that it's just a multiplier, so...
Yeah, it'll just be by 2. Or something.
Or is it...
Or is it...
Oh, that's a good question. Is it just... is it by 1?
No, it's by 2. I've been making mistakes with my sneak attack. I've always said it's by 6, but it should be by 7.
Oh, okay. Alright, so yeah, double your damage then.
Okay. Alright. And I actually have a rank in that, so I guess it's by 3? Yeah.
Wait, you have 1 pip?
Yes. Well, no, I have a pip beyond the standard one.
So you have 2 pips in
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess it'll be by 3 then.
Okay. So, 15.
Okay. So how you describe how you kill him?
Okay. The bolt will go straight through his neck and probably bounce off a wall behind.
Okay. His body will crumple down to the ground. And Rayhan, same thing. You'll have a sneak attack as well. So.
Can I lunge at one of these guys?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'll lunge at one of them with my rapier. And stab it through his face. To hit, I got... Oh my god, man. I got 6 to hit him.
Okay. Your rapier will miss and stick into a slab of meat that is on one of the counters.
I meant to do that. I'll lift up the meat. And
that, it looks kind of appealing to Rayhan. I'm sorry, what was that, Tim?
Are you feeling like having another meal?
Rayhan's stomach rumbles. Alright, so go ahead. Someone roll me a d6 for initiative.
4.
Okay, I got a 2. So we'll start with Sergey, I guess. So two are down. There are 4 chefs left that are sort of staring dumbfounded at 2 of their dead chefs. They haven't moved yet. They sort of look like deer in the headlights.
Now that we have your attention, get on the ground. Do they react at all?
Let me see. What would they do here? You're going to see that insignia that it's burned on their foreheads, that beetle. It'll start to crawl over their face. It'll move from their forehead down and will cover their mouths. And their eyes will roll back into their head, and you'll see the white of their eyes. So that's sort of the reaction that happens as you say that. So is there any other action you want to do?
Yeah, I just attacked the nearest one.
Okay.
Oh, wow. A whopping 3 plus 6. So that's 9.
No, that'll miss. Maybe Sergey's a little freaked out by the white eyes. I don't know.
Yeah.
or the moving scarred tattoo.
Yeah.
Shouldn't happen. All right. So Tavis, what's Tavis do this time?
I think he'll try and find the meanest looking of the knives and pick it up and get ready to use it on one of them.
Okay, there's meat cleavers and fillet knives in various places. That's not a problem.
Okay.
So just make me attack, I guess.
All right. 18.
Yeah, and go ahead and roll your sneak attack damage. Actually.
Oh wow.
They're not reacting. They don't seem like they notice that you're there.
Okay. And this is like a D4 or something?
It should be. I think it's D6, isn't it, Rayhan, for
a dagger?
Or no, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's a D6.
No,
It's a long fillet knife. We'll say that.
Sneak attack is just a multiplier.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry,
So.
getting my systems mixed up.
Yeah. So you said D6?
Yeah, D6 for damage, and then multiplier.
All right. 10.
Okay. How do you kill him with a flay knife that's, pretty long?
I think probably just between the ribs.
Okay. In and out real quick. Gotcha.
Yep.
Rayhan.
I will.
There's 3 left.
I'll slash at the guy I missed originally. It'll be like I'll stab at him, getting that piece of meat through the sword and impaling him like a shish kebab.
So there's a large chunk of meat, and then the rest of the rapier goes stabbing into the guy. That's great. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, this time I rolled better. I got a 19 plus
that's
1.
fine. Yeah. Same thing. Go ahead and roll your normal damage, then multiply it.
Yeah. Oh, it's still a sneak? Okay.
Yeah, when their eyes roll back into their head, they sort of stopped moving.
Okay, I rolled a 5 times 7.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, how do you brutally murder this guy?
I impale him through, let's say, the mouth.
Mouth, okay. Do you leave him shish kebabbed on your rapier, or do you slide him off?
As soon as he dies, I'll like use his collapsing body to angle the sword so that it's standing vertically, and I'll put my foot on the meat that's still attached to it, and I'll slide them both off.
Okay. All right.
Like a boss.
I think that was everybody's turn, right? Except for them. All right. So there's 2 chefs that are left. It's hard to even like describe. It's like as you're looking at these these scarred marks that moved off of their forehead, you're not even sure how that's physically possible. It's not like a patch of skin has moved down. It's actually the burned part that the symbol is somehow moving across the skin, like a boat crawling or moving across the water. From that symbol, let's see here, who's gonna go there? We got 3 guys. It's like Tavis and Sergey. Why don't you guys go ahead and give me a save versus spell?
Okay.
Versus magic?
Does it say magic? I'm sorry. I need to... Let's see here. Yeah, magic. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Let's see, 12, I fail.
5?
Yeah, that's not good. Okay. Alright. Where's that at? Alrighty. A ray of dark energy comes out of the symbol that's over their mouths, and one strikes Sergey, another one strikes Tavis. Let's see here. Alright. Both of you are going to lose, and I'm actually going to let you guys roll this. You're going to lose 1d10 strength.
Oh, wonderful.
So I'll let your damage be in your own hands here.
Uh-oh.
Well, Davis doesn't have high strength to begin with. 8.
Oh, wow. So what is Tavis's strength right now?
That brings his strength down to -1.
Okay, well, you can't get lower than I guess 0 is probably the closest you can get. All right.
Well, that's good.
Temporarily, Tavis's strength is at 0, so you're going to basically just collapse under your own weight at this point. You can't lift your limbs up. How about Sergey?
That was 4. It takes my strength down to 9.
Okay, so that you're weaker, and but you haven't collapsed under your own weight like Tavis has. All right, who feels like rolling initiative this time?
I'll roll it.
Okay.
I got a 5.
All right. Oh, I rolled a 6.
Oh.
Okay, let's see who gets hit this time. All right. Well, Tavis isn't there, so. Okay, 1 for each of you. Each of you make another save versus spell. As the energy has sucked back into the symbol, and it looks like the heads are turning, and they're going to fire that out again.
So I gotta roll 2 now?
Yeah, one of them is aiming at you. So save versus magic.
I got 16. I succeeded.
Okay.
I rolled a 6.
Okay. Roll another d10, and that's how much strength Sergey's going to lose. As another ray of black energy comes flying out of the symbol. And
2.
Okay. Oh, you lose 2 then. Nice.
Okay.
So the ray hits you, Rayhan, but it doesn't seem to affect you. You get a blinding flash of the sun in your mind, and you don't seem to suffer any ill effects from it. All right, so it's now your turn. They just did this to you.
Stab. 15, 16 to stab.
Okay, that's fine. And same thing. It's still sneak attack damage. So.
Oh my god, he's murdered then.
Okay, so how do you kill that guy?
7.
Okay.
Through that burn mark on his forehead or his mouth, I just stabbed through it.
Yeah. As soon as your rapier comes out the back of his head, the symbol will sort of turn into ashes and sort of rain and sprinkle down to the ground. So Tavis is sort of quivering on the ground. Do you say anything, Tavis?
I don't know if you can. He probably lets sort of a slack-jawed moan.
Well, feel free to enact that for us. What does Sergey do?
Okay, so he just hefts his sword up. It's like he's not quite able to lift it quite the way he usually does, but he just brings it over his head and just slashes at the other one.
Okay, make me an attack.
That's for 19.
Okay, we'll just say that you kill this guy off too. So, how do you kill this one?
He just slices his head right in half.
Okay. The symbol sort of detach from the mouth and flutter down to the ground, and as soon as it touches the ground, it sort of melts like snow does on a warm ground.
Sergey just falls to his knees. Oh, I cannot. I do not know what they did to me, but I do not feel quite right.
It's probably what it feels like to be Tavis. That's his starting strength.
Yeah, so Sergey's just on his knees, just rubbing his head with his hand.
All these guys are dead now, right?
Yes, all the chefs are dead. There's the torso that's on the metal table. There's batches of fruit and stuff. It looks perfectly normal.
I'll run to my companions and sorry, Alexander. What was your character's name?
Tavis.
Davis. Yeah, I'll run to Davis. I'll look down. Are you all right?
Yeah. No.
I'll look you over to see if there's anything visibly wrong or...
He looks like a deboned chicken that fell down to the ground. That's what he looks like.
Oh. I'll straighten him out so he's as if he's lying in bed or something, just so that he's not all collapsed into himself.
He blinks in appreciation.
Oh, but you can talk for him. That's fine.
Okay. Thanks.
I hope whatever it is wears off soon.
That would help.
What about me?
I'll
No one cares about me.
You can still walk, my friend.
So he finally forces himself up from off his knees, and he goes over to the table where the stump man is at, so the torso.
He basically has no legs, no sexual organs, no arms. Looks like they had cut into his neck, but they hadn't killed him yet.
What are you? Who are you?
I was a cooper in the town of Gossenheim.
What happened? How did you get here?
The soldiers brought me. Speaking of peace.
Yes, we ran into these peacekeepers. Anything else that you know? What was going on in Gossenheim?
People had fled, fearing the end of days and the wrath of the army of the Cantel Empire, but I thought the soldiers could help us. They said they'd take us. But there was something wrong with them. Not like the other soldiers were. Strange. I thought they were going to take me to Karlstadt, like I've heard others being taken, but no, they took me east, not south. I tried to get away, but the rope was around my neck, and they dragged me. Such strange things I saw down there.
Down where?
Below. Underneath us.
What did you see?
These insects, they do as they're told by the soldiers. They listen to them.
Did you see any place that they might be taking live prisoners? Where did they take you before this happened to you?
I woke up upside down and strange thoughts were in my head. The mother is my god now, but she is many-faceted, glorious to behold in the darkness. But these are strange thoughts. They aren't my own.
Well, seeing as followers of this mother did this to you, I would not say she's too glorious.
But she is.
No, she's not.
She's wondrous to behold.
No, she's not.
At least that's what my thoughts say.
Well, your thoughts are lying to you.
I'll stand up and look at the stump, and as I approach it, I'll say, I heard in the other room there was mention of milk.
From
Where
the
is
mother's breast we drink righteousness.
I'll
It fills us.
squint my eye and I'll say, is this mother human? Like us? Or is she a bug?
I don't know. It hurts to think about that.
You said she's
both?
glorious. Oh.
I have thoughts that aren't my own.
A bug with breasts with milk.
Is this liquid contained anywhere? And I'll look around the room.
You don't see anything like that at all.
If you have not taken it from her directly, it must have been administered.
I do have many answers, but questions seem to be gone. I cannot think straight. I feel pushed down certain lines of thought. Have you drank of the glorious nectar of the mother?
Where would we find it?
He sort of squints and looks. She is everywhere. She watches us, helps us,
I'll frown towards her again and
guides us.
away.
Drink of her bosom and be healed.
There is no saving this one. I mean, it's not like he can walk out of here.
The nipples give forth abundantly. Drink of their glorious sweet drink. Peace. Peace. That is what I ask. His head will just look around, and he doesn't really even seem like he's looking at you. He's just sort of looking up at the ceiling and looking off, almost as if he's seeing things.
Alright, this guy needs to die.
Alright, I will give you peace. So Sergei, he pulls his sword up and puts the tip of it right over his heart, and he just pushes it down straight into his chest.
There's a moment where the stumps of his arms and legs quiver and shake. His head sort of jerks to one side or the other. And he dies with a smile on his face.
Well, what else can you ask for to die with smile on face?
Just so you guys know, I'm not gonna go with a smile on mine if you do that to me. So, I don't know.
I'll grin at you.
What do you say?
Is there any kind of salve in the room or anything like that?
No, doesn't seem to be. Just cooking implements. There's, as far as doors go, there's one back out to the hallway, you assume. There's one straight ahead of you and one to the left. But there's no medicine or bandages or anything like that.
Okay, let's wait. I suggest we wait in this room for as long as is reasonable to see if Davis regains his function.
Yes, I want to feel better too. So Sergei he puts his sword in his sheath and he walks over to the wall, puts his back against the wall, and just slides down it.
Are these doors lockable from the inside?
Let's see here. I'm gonna roll dice. Check. Yeah, they are. They can.
All right, I'll lock the doors.
Okay. Yeah, there's that smell of meat that Rayhan smells that just smells really appealing.
Is it obviously human meat, like from humans?
Yeah, it's pretty obviously human meat.
My stomach rumbles, but I'll try to avoid it. You guys will probably hear me talking not nonsense, but just talking for the sake of talking. Just to keep my mind busy.
Is this bringing back good memories, Rayhan?
No, it is not. I'll touch my face, my discolored face. Ever since this happened, I have been receiving thoughts of eating anything that even remotely resembles food, and I'll glance at the food just for a moment, and my lip will quiver a bit, and I'll look back to you.
Yeah, the fruit looks okay.
Is there fruit? I'll quickly glance around.
There's huge bins of fruit and garnishes and herbs and all kinds of things like that.
Alright, I'll head towards the fruit and start eating it.
As the juice is running down your throat from the fruit, you can't help but you have these weird memories of drinking blood that you don't think it was you, but you don't remember that, but it's almost like deja vu. It's like you got a memory of the past, of that same sensation of blood running down your throat.
Oh, so good.
If I could trust myself not to choke on that.
Let's see here. Why don't you guys roll a d4, Tavis and Sergei, how much strength you guys get back.
Okay.
Yay.
Alright, that's 2.
Okay.
So if I can't go negative, then I'm at 2.
Yeah.
If
So
negative did happen, I'm at 1.
Yeah, you're at 2. That's fine.
Beautiful.
So you're able to move your limbs, your fingers. Probably, I guess you could probably walk with assistance.
Wonderful.
Well, I pull out my dog-headed cane and give it to him. Here, you can lean on cane.
Thank you very much.
Actually, that will help you walk better. You'll be able to walk unassisted.
Really?
Yeah.
Very nice.
As soon as you touch hold of that cane, you feel a renewed vigor.
This was the dog-headed one, not the one we found on the road.
I know.
Okay.
It has the same properties. Oh,
okay.
Where did you get this?
I got it
for a while.
In Pembrookton, in Pile of Canes.
Oh, that place. I'm almost unnerved by how effective this is.
Yeah, it feels like you're fine when you're walking now.
Do not look gift cow and mouth.
Davis just smiles and nods. Well, swallows and nods.
So you guys are locked in the kitchen, essentially.
I think we should stay here just a little while longer, see if we can recover any more strength.
Okay, well, that's probably a good place to break then. It's like 12:46. So
That makes some sense.
So what did you guys think of today's session? We can, we'll start with Alex with that.
It was an enjoyably harrowing experience.
Okay. How about Tim?
It was very maggotous. The joy of rolling in maggot vomit.
I get way too much enjoyment out of this game, I think. I don't know. Well, I can't help but laugh at some of these situations these characters get put in.
At least I didn't fall back down the shaft. I was able to get away from there.
That's looking on the bright side.
Sergey just feels sorry for himself, even though he hasn't gotten the short end of the stick of anything yet.
Yeah, he sort of just watched everybody else have problems so far. Yeah. So, sorry you missed the beginning, man, Zig. But
that'll teach me not to sleep in. So I wake up and I'm in a pile of bodies. What's going on?
What did Tim do to my character now? Like at the beginning, I'm like, oh, this is kind of tough. You guys are just heading down there, and I don't know. They just got captured by giant wasps. I don't know. Let's just do that. So, yeah. All right, guys. Any other? So I guess you'll just have to try to figure out where Malzy is next time, and hopefully Jeremiah will be here. As far as when we're next actually going to play, this next month's looking kind of rough for me. I think November 16th is the next available day that I can run the game.
Okay.
So
works for me, man.
Yeah, sounds
Got
good.
on the calendar.
So, yeah, just let me know if things change, you can't play or whatever when the day gets closer.
I will, man.
And Zig, I'll see you in a little bit for your game.
Yep.
So thanks for playing, everybody.
Oh, thank you for running it, Tim.
I like that laughter, Tim. That's great. All right. All right. I'll talk to you guys later, and I'll torture your characters at some future date.
All right, sounds good.
Great.
All right. Bye.
All right, bye.
Bye.